Happy WrestleMania Sunday. The second part of WrestleMania 36 takes place tonight from the WWE Performance Center. This is coming off part 1, which was last night, and I thought that was a good show, especially when you consider the circumstances. And for this show, I expect another entertaining show. And if you really want to enjoy it, I think you have to understand this is not going to be a WrestleMania quality show. It's a show in the middle of a terrible pandemic. That's how I view it. The kickoff show opens up with Corey Graves and Peter Rosenberg backstage in the WWE panel, the same location they were last night. They recap WrestleMania 36 Part 1 and they preview some of the matches for Part 2. We go to the Performance Center where we have Natalya taking on Liv Morgan. He had Tom Phillips on commentary, and I hope the whole show was not just Tom Phillips on commentary. That would be awful. As for the match, it was a standard Raw match. I thought, watching it, Liv Morgan has some potential to her. She looks great, obviously. She's a hot blonde, so she has that going for her. As for Natalya, I couldn't help but notice, this feels like any other Natalya match, even with a live audience. In fact, I think that the fan in the Performance Center made more noise than the typical Natalya match on Raw. The match itself was just a typical Raw match. It was watchable. It was okay. It was fine. Liv Morgan gets a surprise win, and they'll go from there. Then they go backstage. We see Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville, who are frustrated because Mandy Rose is not getting back any of their text. And then you have Kayla Braxton try to interview them, but they decline to comment. They preview more of the matches, and that recaps the kickoff show. Stephanie McMahon greets us again to start the show. She's wearing another outfit this time, I noticed that. And we see the exact same video package we saw yesterday, minus the national anthem. Our first match surprised me that they're starting with this. You have the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Rhea Ripley defends her title against Charlotte Flair. Charlotte comes out first, then they go to a video package, then the champ, Rhea, comes out. Charlotte main evented last year. Now she's in the opener of the second night in front of an empty arena. But hey, it is what it is. I understand why they want to start it, but if they wanted to start a show in front of crowds with a hot match, it makes sense. You don't have a hot match when everyone's watching from home. They actually want to do it in reverse. You want to start slow when you're watching at home, then get good near the climax. When you don't have fans there who are really hyped up, so you can start slow. I thought that's how it made sense. And last night they did that. But here, I don't understand why you'd start with a 20-minute match. It was very good. It started off slow. On commentary, actually, before we get to the match, I wanted to mention some things. You had Tom Phillips for a while. I thought, oh shit, we're going to get Tom Phillips the whole night. We got Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton for most of the night, then they went back to JBL and Cole for some matches. And in the video package, it was kind of sad because they showed Rhea Ripley visiting Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. And she's really excited, and now it's in the Performance Center. I think it was just kind of depressing watching that. It really, oh man, this could have been so much more. And I saw Kevin Owens post a tweet, actually, that he wanted to jump off the pirate ship at Raymond James Stadium and how cool it would have looked. Man, that set would have just been monster. They have to show us their planned pirate ship. They need to show. I hope it just doesn't go into the warehouse. But I hope they do some reveal. Maybe we'll get that under 24 for the show. Anyway, this match. So Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide early. Uh-oh, is she going to squash Charlotte? Charlotte kicks out. And then for a significant portion of the match, it's just Charlotte killing Rhea's knee, and it goes on. And Rhea screaming is awful. It just goes, it's too much. She screams too much. She's selling it well, but it's just, the screaming was just, it was getting to the point where it was just ruining the match. I heard Charlotte scream and grunt too, but it was too much. They're both working very hard. They're working their asses off, and I feel sorry for them. I'm thinking to myself, all right, you're in an arena. You don't need to do this to yourselves. If they were doing this in Raymond James Stadium, I think this would have got really over that match. It did not, unfortunately. But they put a lot of work in. So Charlotte works over the knee. She does the spots her father used to do. She does the knee drop onto the knee when it's on the ropes. She does the figure four into the, or at least she attempts it, into the ring post. She beats the shit out of Rhea's knee. Rhea's brutalized. She gets numerous submissions. She gets a Boston Crab, just a whole bunch. Then Rhea gets a clover leaf on Charlotte, but Charlotte gets out of it. Eventually, Charlotte's able to get Rhea into figure eight. Rhea tries to survive, but Charlotte bridges up and into the figure eight, and that's when Rhea taps out. The story was really Charlotte working on Rhea Ripley's knee. I think Charlotte will do really well as the NXT champion. I think it makes sense. I'd like to see her feud with Bianca Belair, we saw later tonight. there's other women there who she can feud with as well. And I think it makes sense because I don't want to see her feud with Becky again on Raw. So maybe she goes to NXT and she can have some really good matches and elevate a lot of the women in NXT. And I also think they want to put her on NXT to give NXT a ratings boost. At least they think. And also want to give a shout out, happy birthday to Ashley Flair, who won the NXT Women's Championship on her 34th birthday. Next, we go to Aleister Black against Bobby Lashley. So Lana came out with Lashley wearing a smoking hot red dress, which she looked great in. This match was just nothing. It was a standard Raw match. Aleister Black hit the black mask for the win. 1, 2, 3. He pins Bobby Lashley. Similar to Lashley's match last year at Finn Balor, just a nothing match. They go backstage. Kayla Braxton interviews Bayley and Sasha Banks. And the way they did this, I thought, okay, Sasha's going to win the belt later tonight. That did not happen, of course. Sasha never wins at WrestleMania. But she interviews Bayley, and Bayley goes on forever. She yells at Kayla. She's being a bitch to her. Then Sasha and Kayla interviews Sasha, and they set it up where Sasha's going to turn on Bayley at the end of the match. And that did not happen. It happened in reverse, basically. Charlie Caruso interviews Rob Gronkowski. Who cares? So you had Dolph Ziggler against Otis. This was a cool story. They have the video package. Dolph comes out with Sonya Deville. I think that's the closest Sonya's been to a man in a while. I think she probably hates that she has to be out with Dolph. But Otis comes out alone. Mandy doesn't come out with him yet. You also had Michael Cole and JBL on commentary. The match is average. I thought it lacked a lot of intensity for this rivalry. Started slow, but Otis starts to get the upper hand for a while. However, Sonya Deville gets involved. Once she gets onto the apron, the referee's distracted, Dolph hits a low blow, and the match starts to turn. However, Mandy Rose's music hits, she comes out, she goes right into Sonya, who tries to stop her, and she slaps Sonya Deville, and that's the end of their friendship, I guess, on TV. Mandy slaps Sonya, gets revenge, Dandy is over. No more Dandy Donuts videos for you idiots who watch those. I'm sorry, I'm joking. Hey, it's Mandy Rose. I understand. Who wouldn't want to watch something with Mandy? But she gives Dolph Ziggler a low blow when the referee doesn't see it, and then Otis hits the Caterpillar. 1, 2, 3. Otis defeats Dolph Ziggler. Mandy Rose jumps in Otis' arms. I thought, all right, he's just carrying her. She's not going to kiss him. She makes out with Otis. Holy shit. Otis gets the girl. He carries Mandy away. Really feel-good WrestleMania moment, and that was because it is WrestleMania in the situation we're in right now. It makes sense. I think they should have just held off on them being a couple, and you can build that up to the first kiss on TV. Just have her jump in his arms right now. I don't necessarily with them making go at WrestleMania right now in this situation. I thought you could have built that up, and especially if they're going to continue having TV. But they decided to blow it off right now. I guess Mandy and Otis are an item now, so we'll see what they do with them. But that's going to be the story right now. They're a couple on TV. Next, we go to Edge against Randy Orton, and Edge has a new 24 documentary, which I'm going to review very soon. You'll see it on my channel, and it'll be uploaded very quickly. This is a shame. When I saw Edge coming out, Edge should be in a stadium making his big epic return. He did that at the Royal Rumble this year, but at WrestleMania, he should have been walking into the Raymond James Stadium, getting a massive ovation, probably with a big entrance, crazy pyro. That's what it should have been. It was not. He retired 9 years ago. His last match was at WrestleMania. Was at WrestleMania 27 against Del Rio in a meaningless match. It was for the title, but no one cared about it. Here, they had a boring match. It starts off with Randy Orton. He comes, he hits an RKO out of nowhere, then they brawl for a while. Orton gets another RKO. He kicks Edge's ass for a while. They go backstage and they fight in the weight room for an eternity. They're all over the weight room. They use everything. Orton tries to hang Edge with ropes. They use a dumbbell. They use a plate that is used, and all I can think of was Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa had a much better fight in the weight room like 3 weeks ago in NXT. It blew this thing away. They had just a great brawl in the Performance Center, and then these guys did nothing compared to that, and that was a lot quicker. That's what this should have been. Went way too wrong. So once they're done in the weight room, they fight all over it. There was no cardio machine, so I guess they moved those out of the way. Then they go to the production area, and then they briefly go back to ringside, and Orton throws Edge into the barricade. Edge comes back. They continue to fight. They go backstage again. This time they go to the office. They have a whole bunch of posters. There's an old SummerSlam poster. There's a Rumble poster, an old WrestleMania poster, a Hell in a Cell poster, all of them. They just hit each other over the head with into the posters. They eventually go into a meeting room, and there's a giant steel table there. Edge throws Orton on the table, and he climbs up to the roof, and there's basically like a fence roof, and Edge climbs up, and he hits an elbow drop onto Orton onto the steel table. Looked like it hurt Edge way worse. They continue to go through the office, and they go to a storage area, and this is where the bulk of the match happens, the climax. Edge throws Orton onto a table, and Edge, he climbs up a ladder, and there's a platform on top, and he jumps off the platform onto Randy Orton through a table. And you got your table spot, you also got ladder spot, and you got ladders last night. You didn't get the chair, so you didn't have the TLC, all three of them there, but you had just all this bunch of shit. So much happened. It went on for eternity. It was 37 minutes long. They go and fight on a Jeep. Orton DDT's Edge onto the bed of the Jeep, the cover, the spread. They go on top of a production truck, and they fight forever on there. Edge hits a spear, then Randy Orton hits an RKO, and looks like Edge is done, but Edge gets back up before the 10 count. Orton gets 2 chairs. He goes back to the top of the truck, and then Edge hits, his submission finisher that, I don't even know what you call it. It's fine. I've seen that submission before, but he chokes Orton out. Orton's unconscious. He's on top of the truck, and his head is on the chair, and Edge grabs the chair, the second chair, and Orton's head is in position for the concerto. Edge hits a concerto on top of the truck, double chair shot onto more steel in the truck. So it looked like it was super painful if it was real. It killed Orton. Orton's out. He doesn't move. Edge stands on top of him, stands above him. Ref counts a 10. Edge wins the last man standing match and went on for an eternity. It was far too long. It was a cool moment seeing Edge win, come back to win at WrestleMania. He had tears in his eyes when he had to kill Orton at the end, basically. But the fact that Edge, was just, he's fighting in Randy Orton, a match with Randy Orton. It goes on for 37 minutes in the Performance Center. I felt wrong. I felt like this man was robbed of his WrestleMania moment. I felt really bad for Edge. I felt bad for Drew McIntyre in particular, those two guys. I think they would have had big moments at a real WrestleMania this year. Who knows what's going to happen next year? Who knows if Edge wrestles again next year? I don't know what's going to happen. But Edge with the win. He gets his revenge on Randy for everything Randy did to him this past year. They do stuff with Rob Gronkowski. He wins the 24/7 title. He jumps off everyone from the platform or whatever they have. He wins it. No one cares. He pins Mojo. So they have the Raw Tag Team title. I thought this match went long. I didn't think it needed to be this long. I thought it should have just been a quick 2-minute match. The problem is after you have that such a long match with Orton and Edge, it's going to take time away. This should have been early in the card. Does not need to be this late. So Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins face Angel Garza and Austin Theory, who are of course managed by Zelina Vega. I wish they could have just left the camera on Zelina Vega for the whole match. That would have made it better. The Street Profits retained the titles. However, after the match, the heels attack them, and Zelina Vega hits Montez Ford with a kick to the face. And, of course, that's going to piss off his wife, Bianca Belair, who happens to be at the Performance Center watching backstage, I assume. Bianca goes after her, and she is so much bigger than Zelina. She'd rip this girl apart. She kicks Zelina's ass, hits her finisher on Zelina Vega, takes her out. The Street Profits beat down Theory, and Garza, they're all gone. No one's Raw. I no sight of him on this show, but they stand tall. Bianca Belair and her husband, Montez Ford, who's part of the Raw Tag Champions, along with Angelo Dawkins, stand tall. The Street Profits have a nice celebration. They lift Bianca up on their shoulders, and I think Bianca has a very bright future in the WWE on the main roster. I'd like to see her feud with Charlotte in NXT first. Maybe she's the one who beat Charlotte. I'd like to see that feud. I think they do really well. Next, we go to the SmackDown Women's Championship Fatal 5-Way Elimination match. Bayley defends her title against Sasha Banks, Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Tamina. Sasha Banks comes out first. She looks ready. She's in great shape. She looks great as always, and she looks like, all right, I'm going to get my moment. Not happening. Should have just been Bayley and Sasha. I think to myself, they wanted to save it. They're probably not going to get the match. Something's going to happen. Someone's going to get called up. Vince is going to find a new toy. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get Bayley and Sasha. And you're certainly not going to have it at SummerSlam. I don't want to hear anyone say, well, they're saving Bayley and Sasha for SummerSlam in Sasha's hometown in Boston. You must be a fucking idiot if you actually believe SummerSlam is going to happen in Boston this year. Jeez. 4 months? No way. That's not happening in Boston. I mean, things could be different, but they're not going to do a live event there, a big show like SummerSlam. That's not happening. So Tamina dominates everyone at first, so we all know what's going to happen. They're all going to fight off Tamina, and that's what happens. She takes everyone's finisher. Everyone hits their top rope move. Bayley hits an elbow. Sasha hits the frog splash like Eddie Guerrero. Lacey Evans hits a moonsault. Then Naomi hits a split-legged moonsault, and they all get on top of Tamina to give Naomi more leverage, and they eliminate Tamina together. Then you had Naomi fight with Bayley and Sasha. She goes after them, but Sasha is able to eliminate Naomi when she hits her with the bank statement and gets her to submit, so Sasha takes her out. Then you had Lacey Evans and Lacey Evans being double teamed by Sasha Banks and Bayley, but she fights off. Sasha and Bayley get into a scuffle. Bayley accidentally knees Sasha. Sasha's mad at her, but she's an idiot. That's how she's bucked. She gets knocked out by the woman's right by Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans eliminates Sasha Banks. That's surprising. I was like, really? But Lacey takes out Sasha. The match is just too late in the show for this to work. You have Bayley and Lacey go on for too long, and they showed Sasha Banks on the outside, still laid out. So, I mean, the editing is fucking horrendous. That's an inexcusable, horrible editing. You knew Bayley was going to win. Okay, Sasha's going to help her. So, Lacey Evans has Bayley in trouble. Sasha comes back, hits a back stabber to Lacey Evans, and then Bayley hits her finisher on Lacey Evans. 1, 2, 3. Bayley wins. She retains the SmackDown title. She gets her second WrestleMania win after she pins Lacey, and both her wins came in elimination matches. Her first one was 33, this one 36, and she retains the title. Of course, Sasha's eliminated in both those matches. Sasha Banks is basically the reverse Undertaker at WrestleMania. She's never going to get her moment. I don't know why they won't give it to her. I assume they want to give her a bigger spot. If she wins a big match next year in LA, I guess it'll be worth it, but she's still yet to get a WrestleMania moment. I don't think she's going to be mad like she was last year, but yeah, she never gets to win a big match on a big show. I'm sure it's disappointing for Sasha, really, because they've yet to really give her a signature win on a major show. I assumed she was probably going to win this match, and she does not. I don't really care to see her and Bayley again. I'm so sick of that feud. The two women's feud I don't want to see are Becky and Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha anymore. But when you look at all the other women, Charlotte has had numerous WrestleMania moments. Becky has had big ones. She won the main event last year. Bayley has had a couple of big wins herself at WrestleMania now. Naomi's had a big WrestleMania win. Alexa Bliss now. Virtually all the top women in the company have had big WrestleMania moments, except Sasha Banks. So I don't know why they won't pull the trigger on her getting a signature win, but it didn't happen this year again. She's now 0-5 at WrestleMania. So, as I said, really now, I guess she's the reverse Undertaker. She has a losing streak. Next, you go to the Firefly Funhouse match, John Cena against Bray Wyatt. Here's where I felt the show's going too long. And I didn't like this. I hated this. So when they first happened, John Cena comes out and think to myself, holy shit, he's having a match. It's just going to be some stupid match with a puppet sitting at ringside. I thought we were going to get like an actual Funhouse match similar to what we saw last night. This was different from what we saw last night. Totally different. There's a lot to recap here, so bear with me. Bray Wyatt appears at the Firefly Funhouse. He's not the Fiend, he's just Bray Wyatt. And John Cena teleports to the Firefly Funhouse, similar to how the Undertaker teleported out of the grave last night. Cena's there, and he's talking to the puppets. The puppets aren't used much, and then he goes down the door. It's like a haunted house. Oh, this is kind of cool. Maybe there's going to be a Funhouse mirror, a scary clown or something, but he sees a Vince McMahon puppet who tells him he's fired, and he has horns like he's the devil, so Vince is still the devil. And then John Cena just teleports. He becomes John Cena from 2002 on SmackDown when Kurt Angle had an open challenge and he slaps Kurt Angle. He says ruthless aggression. He tries to slap Bray with ruthless aggression. It does not happen. Bray keeps ducking. That looked very awkward. Then they go to a 1980s wrestling show in which John Cena is he's basically Hulk Hogan, or I'm not sure if Bray was supposed to be Hulk Hogan, but Cena's lifting up weights and Wyatt's right next to him. He keeps lifting them up until his arms just are done. It was strange. I was thinking this is some sort of horror movie like you see with scary dreams and teleportation. I don't know what this really was. But Cena's arms are just shot. Maybe like a Nightmare on Elm Street. That's what I was thinking. And he can't do anything anymore. However, they teleport yet again. And this time, I'm not sure if they got this incorrect, but if it was NWO, WCW, or if it's WrestleMania 30, they actually teleport back to WrestleMania 30 They're in the same gear they had. They showed Bray, the old cool Bray Wyatt promos at the ranch. They can't show the guys he was with, Harper and Rowan, for obvious reasons, but they show that. That was pretty funny, in which Bray Wyatt, and they teleport to 30. They're on the Superdome again, but the gear Bray's wearing is similar. It's like that Hawaiian shirt. He's not wearing the red pants, but John Cena has that same black shirt he used to wear in 2014. And Bray has Cena for the Sister Abigail, but then they flash back again. It's another teleportation, another jump cut. And this time they show the NWO and stuff. And I'm pretty sure this is the order it's in. Bray becomes Eric Bischoff. This might be in reverse, I'm not sure. He introduces John Cena, who's now a heel in the NWO. It's awkward. It's pretty darn strange. Actually, the NWO thing might have been before the WrestleMania 30 thing. I don't even remember now. Cena is, again, he messes up. He tries to hit Bray with the chain. Then they show more stuff. They show CM Punk. I thought, are they going to do something with CM Punk? Not really. And during the NWO stuff, they have a cool bit where they mock Dean Ambrose. Remember Dean Ambrose went on that Chris Jericho, or John Moxley now. He went on that Chris Jericho podcast. He basically buried WWE, similar to how CM Punk buried WWE with Colt Cabana. Something very similar to that. They do the "it's such good shit" with Vince during the end of WCW stuff because it was awful. It's just weird. It's strange. They do more stuff. Eventually, John Cena tries to kill Bray Wyatt with the chain. He finally turns heel. It's like the embrace the hate. Remember that stuff? That stupid stuff with Bray. Finish me, John. He can't finish him. John Cena is just, he messes up. The Fiend appears behind John Cena, and then he hits him with the Sister Abigail. Then the Fiend puts him in a mandible claw. Cena's unconscious. He's out. Then regular Bray Wyatt counts in the Performance Center 1, 2, 3, and the Fiend defeats John Cena. This was awkward. This was just really weird. That's it. I hated it. I liked the Undertaker AJ thing last night. I thought this was no good. They show Titus O'Neil stunned after the match. What happened? It was a mess. We go to the main event, Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Drew comes out first. No big WrestleMania entrance. Feel bad for this guy. He deserves his big WrestleMania moment. He just comes out, and I think it's really on his face, like how disappointed he is. This is not in Tampa. Brock comes out next with Paul Heyman, and it's basically the exact same thing we saw last night with Goldberg and Braun Strowman, except it's better. It's better. We have Drew hit the Claymore quick. Brock gets out of it. Then Brock hits an F5. Drew kicks out at 1. Brock hits a second F5. Drew kicks out at 2, quickly after 2. Brock hits a third F5. Drew kicks out at like 2.5 or 2 3/4. Close one. Brock goes for a third F5. Drew gets out and he hits a Claymore kick. Drew then hits another Claymore kick at the third overall in the match. Brock's barely getting to his feet. Drew hits a fourth Claymore kick, taking out Brock. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins the WWE Championship. This is his first title run. It's a signature WrestleMania win. He wins the WWE title from Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania on the second night. It's his big moment. It should have been in his... He lives in Tampa. That's sad, too. He didn't get that. But, hey, Drew's the champ. He's a WWE champion. We'll see how he does. Congratulations, Drew McIntyre, on a great win. And that recaps WrestleMania. This is not WrestleMania. The second night was no good. I thought the first night was good. The second night was no good. The first night was way better. The coronavirus destroyed WrestleMania 36. We're going to look back at this show in history and know that it was ruined because of the coronavirus. It's going to be known as the show during COVID-19. That's how we're going to remember WrestleMania 36. This is not WrestleMania. I don't know how much damage this has done to the WrestleMania brand, having it in an empty arena like this, but this is the best you can do. Next year, WrestleMania 37, Los Angeles, California, Sophie Stadium. We'll get a real WrestleMania with WrestleMania 37. But this is it. This is the end of WrestleMania 36. We have to wait a whole year again for WrestleMania to actually get a real WrestleMania. This is it. It was disappointing. It was what it was. I guess WWE wanted to just give us entertainment during this awful situation with the coronavirus. And they gave us entertainment. It was not perfect, but that was WrestleMania 36. We all know what should have happened. It was supposed to be in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, with a big pirate ship as the entrance theme and wrestlers coming out of the pirate ship and giant pyro and 70,000 screaming fans. We didn't get that this year. Hopefully, we can get that next year.